Iran's nuclear program began in 1957, during the rule of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, with support from the United States under the Atoms for Peace program. That same year, the U.S. and Iran signed a civil nuclear cooperation agreement to promote peaceful nuclear energy. In October 1967, the U.S. provided Iran with a 5-megawatt nuclear research reactor located at the Tehran Nuclear Research Center. Along with the reactor, Iran received highly enriched uranium, HEU, fuel from the U.S. On July 1, 1968, Iran signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, and ratified it in February 1970, committing not to pursue nuclear weapons in exchange for access to peaceful nuclear technology. In the early 1970s, Iran's nuclear ambitions expanded rapidly. With the oil boom and Western support, the Shah planned to build up to 20 nuclear power plants. Iran signed contracts with the U.S., France, and West Germany. In 1974, the Shah established the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, AEOI, to oversee the country's nuclear program. Following the Islamic Revolution in February 1979, the U.S.-backed Shah was overthrown, and Ayatollah Khomeini established the Islamic Republic. The revolution was fiercely anti-American. Khomeini even referred to the U.S. as the Great Satan during the hostage crisis. A failed U.S. rescue mission, Operation Eagle Claw, led to the death of 8 American servicemen. President Jimmy Carter responded by imposing economic sanctions and severing diplomatic ties with Iran. The U.S. alignment with Israel, particularly on the Palestinian issue, further strained relations. As a result, many foreign nuclear contracts were canceled, and international cooperation with Iran ceased, stalling much of the country's nuclear development. During the 1980-1988 Iran-Iraq War, Iran's interest in nuclear technology reignited, especially after enduring chemical attacks from Iraq. In the 1990s, Iran resumed its nuclear development independently, turning to countries like Russia and China for assistance. Russia helped complete the Bushehr nuclear power plant, a project originally started by German contractors in the 1970s. On August 14, 2002, an exiled opposition group, the National Council of Resistance of Iran, NCRI, revealed 2 previously secret nuclear facilities at Natanz and Arak. This revelation triggered intense scrutiny from the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, and led Iran to allow inspections and temporarily suspend enrichment in October 2003 while negotiating with the EU3, UK, France, and Germany. Under international pressure, Iran allowed IAEA inspections and agreed to suspend enrichment temporarily. However, in 2005, after Mahmoud Ahmadinejad became president, Iran resumed uranium enrichment. The U.S. and its allies opposed the move and collectively pushed for international sanctions, but these efforts did not produce the intended results. In 2009, after Iran admitted to building a second enrichment facility, the U.S. and Israel launched a cyber attack, believed to be the Stuxnet virus, which damaged thousands of centrifuges at the Natanz site. Around the same time, a series of assassinations targeting Iranian nuclear scientists began. January 12, 2010, Masoud Ali Mohammadi, a theoretical physicist and professor at the University of Tehran, was killed by a remote-controlled bomb attached to a motorcycle near his home. November 29, 2010, Majid Shahrayari, a nuclear engineer and expert in neutron transport and chain reactions, was killed in a car bomb attack in Tehran. July 23, 2011, Dariush Razinjad, an electrical engineering expert associated with Iran's nuclear and defense programs, was shot dead by gunmen on motorcycles in front of his house. The list goes on. For years, Iranian nuclear scientists have been systematically assassinated in operations widely attributed to Israel's Mossad intelligence agency. Although Iran long suspected espionage or internal leaks, it lacked solid proof of how Israel obtained such precise intelligence. In 2015, Iran and 6 world powers, the US, UK, France, Russia, China, and Germany, signed the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA. Under this agreement, Iran committed to limit uranium enrichment to 3.67%, reduce its number of centrifuges from 20,000 to 6,000, cut its enriched uranium stockpile by 98%, and allow extensive monitoring by the IAEA. However, in May 2018, President Donald Trump unilaterally withdrew from the JCPOA, calling it the worst deal ever. He reimposed harsh sanctions on Iran, which in turn began violating the deal's limits. Since then, multiple rounds of talks have been held to revive the agreement, but no final consensus has been reached, largely due to disputes over the sequencing of sanctions relief and Iranian commitments. Recently, Iranian intelligence reportedly obtained thousands of classified Israeli nuclear documents. Among them was one that revealed a disturbing breach. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, a United Nations-affiliated body, had unknowingly or perhaps deliberately shared the names and identities of Iranian nuclear scientists with Israel. These names, originally collected for verification and oversight purposes, allegedly made their way into Israeli hands and were used as a hit list for targeted assassinations. In response to years of pressure, sabotage, and betrayal, Iran has enriched uranium-235 to over 60% purity, stockpiled hundreds of kilograms of enriched uranium, enough for multiple nuclear bombs if further enriched, installed and is operating advanced centrifuges, IR-2M, IR-4, and IR-6, which are faster and more efficient, begun constructing a deeper underground enrichment site at Natanz, possibly to evade airstrikes and conceal advanced equipment, disabled IAEA surveillance cameras, and restricted full access to inspectors. This revelation could seriously damage the IAEA's credibility and raise troubling questions about the neutrality of international institutions meant to ensure global peace and nuclear transparency. The source of the list used to assassinate Iranian scientists may not have been spies hiding in the shadows, but trusted international monitors. The IAEA's only public response so far has been that Iran's transparency has markedly decreased. This is where things now stand,